1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Muhammad Zubair Khan. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has directed to prepare suggestions and recommendations on emergency basis to cope with the serious economic challenges faced by the country. PMLN leaders say PTI's wrong economic policies have led to a projection of 6,400 billion rupees in the current budget deficit. China has congratulated Shehbaz Sharif on his election as the new Prime Minister of Pakistan, saying that it is looking forward to working with him to continue traditional friendship. The United States says it values long-standing cooperation with Islamabad and has always viewed a prosperous and democratic Pakistan critical to American interests. All Parties Hurriyat Conference says Modi-led fascist Indian regime is implicating Hurriyat leaders, journalists and human rights activists in fake cases to further its anti-resistance agenda in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. United Nations has expressed grave concern over the recent escalation in Palestinian-Israeli tensions, urging Israel to avoid use of lethal force. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has directed to prepare suggestions and recommendations on emergency basis to cope with the serious economic challenges confronting Pakistan. These proposals will be formulated in consultation with all the stakeholders, including agriculture, industry, investment, banking and business communities, for which it has been decided to hold a summit in the next few days. It has also been decided to reorganize the National Economic Council, comprising impartial and leading economists. Shehbaz Sharif made these instructions while chairing an emergency meeting of economists in Islamabad today after formally assuming office of the Prime Minister. He called for making comprehensive recommendations on policy options so that concrete steps can be taken. The Prime Minister also directed to formulate comprehensive proposals for providing relief to the people and controlling inflation. He also issued special instructions for monitoring the Ramadan Bazaar during the holy month and for immediate reduction in prices of essential commodities. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif held separate meetings with the heads of allied parties at their residences in Islamabad today and discussed matters pertaining to the formation of cabinet. In his remarks, the Prime Minister expressed the resolve to move forward with the spirit of consultation, unity, cooperation and mutual trust. He said, "We will collectively address the problems and the promises will be fulfilled." The Prime Minister met with PPP co-chairman Asif Ali Zardari and PPP chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, Chief of JUIF Maulana Fazlur Rahman, Khalid Maqbool Siddiqui of MQM Pakistan, Akhtar Mengal, Khalid Maksi, Shahzain Bukti and Aslam Botani. In a tweet today, Shehbaz Sharif said Pakistan desires peaceful and cooperative ties with India. He said peaceful settlement of outstanding disputes including Jammu and Kashmir is indispensable. He said we should secure peace and focus on socio-economic development of our people. The Prime Minister said Pakistan's sacrifices in fighting terrorism are well known. Shehbaz Sharif also thanked Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi for extending felicitations to him on becoming Pakistan's Prime Minister. PMLN leaders says PTI's wrong economic policies have led to a projection of 6,400 billion rupees in the current budget deficit. PMLN leaders Miftah Ismail, Muhammad Zubair and Dr. Musaddiq Malik claimed this while talking to media in Islamabad this afternoon. Miftah Ismail said expenditures are likely to go beyond 9,500 billion rupees, which is unprecedented in the history of Pakistan. He said the total debt from 1947 to 2018 was 25,000 billion rupees, whereas PTI government took 80% of the total debt in just 3.5 years. He said primary deficit is being projected as 1650 billion rupees. He said trade deficit is expected to touch the figure of $45 billion, which is all-time high in the history of Pakistan. He said foreign exchange reserves are also depleting with growing current account deficit. Miftah Ismail said it is top priority of the new government to stabilize depleting foreign exchange reserves. He expressed the resolve to make no stone unturned to overcome the economic challenges confronting Pakistan. Dr. Musaddiq Malik said Pakistan's income is reducing while expenditure is on the rise. He said this economic meltdown is because of the poor policies of the PTI government. He said rupee's value has slashed to half. Mohammad Zubair also criticized the economic policies of the outgoing government and vowed to make maximum efforts to put the country on the path of economic development and progress. China has congratulated Shehbaz Sharif on his election as the new Prime Minister of Pakistan, saying that it is looking forward to working with him to continue traditional friendship. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian said that China looks forward to working together with the people of Pakistan and the Pakistani side, carrying on our traditional friendship, resolutely supporting each other, deepening cooperation in various areas, and building a high-quality CPEC to build an even closer China-Pak community of shared future in the new era. He said that China and Pakistan are all-weather strategic and comprehensive cooperation partners with rock-solid and unbreakable relations. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has congratulated Shehbaz Sharif on his election as Prime Minister of Pakistan. In a telephonic conversation, Turkish President wished that new change will be beneficial for the friendly and brotherly people of Pakistan. He said Turkey will continue cooperation with Pakistan like it did in the past. Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa says Pakistan Army is aware of its responsibilities and shall continue to defend territorial integrity and sovereignty of Pakistan against all internal and external threats under all circumstances. He was chairing 79th Formation Commanders Conference in Rawalpindi today. The conference was attended by Corps Commanders, Principal Staff Officers and all Formation Commanders of Pakistan Army. This is Radio Pakistan. The United States says it values long-standing cooperation with Pakistan and has always viewed a prosperous and democratic Pakistan critical to America's interests. Talking to reporters in Washington, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said that U.S. cooperation with Pakistan remains unchanged regardless of who the leadership is. She said U.S. has a long, strong and abiding relationship with Pakistan, an important security relationship, and that will continue under new leaders. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference says under a deep-rooted conspiracy, Modi-led fascist Indian regime is implicating Hurriyat leaders, journalists and human rights activists in fake cases to further its anti-resistance agenda in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In a statement in Srinagar, the APHC General Secretary Maulvi Bashir Ahmed Irfani deplored that arrogance of Indian rulers has converted Jammu and Kashmir into a slaughterhouse, consuming innocent lives on daily basis. He made it clear to New Delhi that freedom movements cannot be defeated through brutal tactics. Meanwhile, Indian police put PDP President Mehbooba Mufti under house arrest in Srinagar today to stop her from visiting an affected Pandit family in Shupaiya. In a rare direct rebuke to New Delhi by Washington, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, during a joint press briefing with Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar and Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, said the U.S. is monitoring a rise in human rights abuses in India. In another significant development, hundreds of U.S.-based civil rights, faith groups and individuals through a letter called upon the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom to recommend the State Department to designate India once again as a country of particular concern for being the world's worst persecutors of religious minorities. United Nations has expressed grave concern over the recent escalation in Palestinian-Israeli tensions, urging Israeli forces to avoid use of lethal force. In a statement, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres stressed Israel must exercise maximum restraint. He said United Nations will continue to work with all sides to de-escalate the tension. Israeli police martyred a Palestinian man in port city of Ascalon today. And now the weather report. Partly cloudy weather is expected in most upper parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, light rain and thunderstorm with gusty and dust-raising winds is likely in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Islamabad, Upper Punjab, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, please log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.